Hi, Tony. Thanks a lot for doing this for the dartsforum.com and giving your time up to talk to us.
No problem, Martin. My pleasure, fella. My pleasure.
How's things up there with you?
Pretty good at the moment. I've been pretty busy, a few exhibitions and stuff. Yeah, we've been pretty busy just lately.
Well, you're probably more than aware that there's a huge topic going on at the moment regarding the Masters.
Yeah.
You know, BBC have, I don't know if they dropped it or they were asked to move aside. ESPN have come in. Firstly, are you looking forward to the new coverage, the new format?
Well, obviously, losing the BBC was a big blow to the BDO, but obviously they must have worked hard to get ESPN on board so quickly. So obviously, any TV coverage for darts events is good for all players. Obviously, we've been with the BBC for such a long time. It was disappointing to lose that, but I'm sure ESPN and Ray Stubbs being back involved with the darts will be brilliant.
Yeah, Stubbs was good without doubt. Definitely without doubt. Talking about him, how do you actually feel about the BBC coverage of BDO events in general? There's a lot of criticism out in the forums for the way they handle it, you know, compared to Sky ITV.
Yeah, well, Sky are probably the best in the world at covering any sport, to be honest. But BBC is pretty traditional with their coverage, and it's not really changed a lot since the late 70s, early 80s. So,
yeah, since God was around.
Exactly. I go back a bit further than that, mate. But yeah, it's pretty traditional, and a lot of people do like it. Obviously, with Sky and the way they do things, it probably doesn't size up well to it. But I still love playing there. I still love the way they do it, and tradition's a big thing in darts anyway. So yeah, I like the way the BBC do it.
Yeah, you've been in the comms box yourself a few times. You find that a bit daunting? You know, you're commenting on players that you play with week in, week out. You know, do they come back and rib you or have a pop?
I don't really think I've abused anybody on the commentary box. I try and have a little bit of fun sometimes with the lads, but nobody's actually complained about anything. So I don't think any of the viewers have. So yeah, it's meant to be a little bit of fun, just a player's perspective. And I'm one of the lads, and it is a nice little break to go and do a bit of commentary now and again. But yeah, I've never had any ribbing from any of the boys.
Fair play, mate. Now, staying on with the Masters itself, there's over the years since the format was changed that the top 8 seeds came in at the last 16 stage. You know, that's you know, there's a lot of people think that's taken a hell of a lot away from the tournament, from the days of Bob Anderson winning it 3 on the bounce and coming through a huge field, to now Martin Adams has done it 3 on the bounce, but coming in at the last 16. How do you feel about that and the way that's moved on?
Well, obviously there's 200-300 players playing the Masters, and the old system playing right from the first round. I mean, it made it very difficult to win, which it still is, even though the top 8 seeds come in at the last 16, the television part. But I think we lost so many household names and so many named players. I think they were a bit worried that we were going to lose the tournament itself. So that was just something that came across. It was an idea just to keep the big name players in it. Obviously, it's upset a lot of the floor players. I mean, I was one of them a couple of years ago, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it does wrangle a lot of the players, but I mean that's the way the BDO decided to do it. I mean, obviously, it does help with the TV ratings and stuff. So, but we just have to adhere to the rules, no matter how often they change, which seems to be every month at the moment.
Yeah, man, talking about every month at the moment, you know, the Masters being rescheduled to the first weekend in September has really put out of joint the Welsh Masters and the Welsh Classic. You know, events that, you know, they're ranking events, players have signed up, booked accommodation, and now it's just scrubbed from the calendar. You know, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, them 2 events you've mentioned in the one weekend, I mean, people have probably already booked time off work. Obviously, they've booked caravans on the Lions camp. You know, they've sorted out that weekend. But not only have they lost, they'll probably get the money back for the hotels and what have you, but they've lost the opportunity to get 2 lots of points there. So there's some players could actually affect the lakeside spot because of it. So again, people are angry at changes so late before, or so soon to an event, should I say. I mean, on a personal note, I'm actually I'm playing a large exhibition, and I've signed a contract to play it on the Friday night.
Oh.
So it could actually work out that I don't even play in the World Masters, because obviously I try not to let anybody down, and I'm doing quite a large exhibition now on the Friday. If I'm not one of the top 8 seeds, I'm afraid I won't even be going to the World Masters this year.
That's incredible, to be honest. I mean, my view is the BDO have what you call it 2 Masters, 2 televised major tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Surely they should, when they're compiling the calendar, fix them first before anybody gets a chance to fix anything else. They should be the first names on the sheet, so to speak.
Well, one of our big gripes as professional players, I mean, there's not too many in the BDO now. There's 7 or 8 full-time pros. Now, we start taking bookings probably 6-8 months in advance. Now, to change something literally a month before it's just, as I said, it's probably cost me my World Masters spot unless I pick up enough points in the next 4 events to actually get in the top 8 seedings. And as I said, if I fail to pick them points up, then that's me out of the Masters, because as a professional, my reputation for exhibitions and that is number one. I've got to turn up at events. I think I've only ever missed one in my life. That was down in Essex where I double booked. It's not something you should do as a professional, just drop a booking because somebody's changed the date for a tournament. So the exhibition work is my bread and butter, and I'll be playing that Friday night no matter what.
Well, I hope that obviously you get the points to get yourself through to the TV stage, but it seems, from what I've seen, a terrible shambles. Yes, it's great that ESPN are in, and I think they'll cover it far better than the BBC did. But the changing of the dates, it's not by a week or so. It's a huge change.
Yeah. Well, like I say, as professionals, we do the bookings, like I said, and it really, I don't want to swear, but it really gets on our goat that things are changed so close. I know there's reasons for it, and they don't do it deliberately, but it's just frustrating when professionals are not being allowed to do what we do for a living because people are changing things in calendars, which, as you said, they're set out a year in advance. We should be able to plan our year really in a calendar and know it's going to be there permanently.
Yeah,
so I think the Masters has changed dates and venues about 4 or 5 years on the trot. So we shouldn't really be surprised, but it's pretty frustrating. Like I say, I'm going to miss our only second major television tournament possibly because of a late change. So pretty frustrating, but like I say, there is a reason for it, and you just got to get on with it.
Yeah, and it's also like to close off on the Masters. It feels like the oldest established major tournament has been treated quite shabbily. It deserves better than that, considering its status.
Well, yeah, spot on. I totally agree. But like I say, I think it's the current situation with the BBC, the cutting costs like everybody else are, and I mean, major shows like the Match of the Day and things have gone. So I mean, a darts tournament's probably well low on the list compared to that. So it's just something we've got to get on with. And like I say, at least now it is on television, and hopefully we can plan forward and make it a regular thing and know the dates a year in advance.
Yeah. Touch wood on that one, eh, Tone?
Yeah, good right. Yeah.